Ladies and gentlemen, your attention please. We are the new kings winning this fight tonight with our name lit up in lights. We are the new kings. This is our time to shine. Set it off like dynamite. We are the new kings winning this fight tonight with our name lit up in lights. We are the new kings. This is our time to shine. Set it off like dynamite.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you all so much for joining us this evening. Ladies and gentlemen, this evening we are recognizing and rewarding creative excellence that communicates sustainability. May I please request you to kindly take your seats, put your mobile phones on silent mode as we are about to begin momentarily. Do ensure that through the show we practice social distancing and that all precautions are taken to ensure each other's safety. Before we do begin, we would like to thank our partners for coming and joining us this evening. Our presenting partner, Z, our associate partner, Discovery, our print media partner, The Hindu, our web media partners, AFAQs, Campaign India, Exchange for Media, Media News for You, MXM India, and our technology partners, Awardor. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Once again, could we please request you to kindly take your seats, put your mobile phones on silent mode as we are about to begin. Kindly ensure that through the show we practice all social distancing and take precautions to ensure each other's safety. Before we do begin the show, we would like to thank our presenting partner, Z, our associate partner, Discovery, our print media partner, The Hindu, our web media partner, AFAX, Campaign India, Exchange for Media, Media News for You, MXM India, and our technology partner, Awardor. Good evening, a very, very good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Could I request all of you to please take your seats? You know that we're making sure and ensuring that we do maintain social distancing because after all, we want to take care of everybody's safety right over here in this room. A very good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Frisia, and it is an absolute honor and pleasure to come and be your host right over here at the IAA Olive Crown Awards 2021. It truly is wonderful to see each and every one of you from the fraternity taking that time out, marking your calendars, and coming and joining us right here. It's a pleasure to see all your faces. Well, ladies and gentlemen, the world as we knew it has changed, and how. Social gatherings for a long time, they almost felt like they were a thing of the past. Everything virtual took over. We embraced the lockdowns, and all this while, something around us changed. As humankind took that moment to pause, planet Earth healed. And a few of us noticed this healing immediately and made sure that the rest of the world did stand up and take notice too. All of us in this room made sure that we contributed to that healing. We did our little big deeds to sow those seeds of change by being the voice for those who brought about that change, or just by being the voice ourselves. We emerged as the rays of green through this dark tunnel. And so please join me with a huge round of applause for all of you, our change makers, our green warriors, and lastly, but most importantly, voices of planet Earth. A big round of applause for everyone in this room. And now for our uniting factor, our common ground, the India chapter of the International Advertising Association, responsible for bringing together advertisers, marketers, and communication professionals, not only from India, but across Asia. Along with the great support of the Asian Federation of Advertising Association, who do believe that this cause, when kept at the core of creativity, can really create ripples of change. The IAA Olive Crown Awards were conceptualized 11 years ago, and they are the first and the only awards that honor work that communicates sustainability across the whole spectrum, whether we're talking about media, marketing, as well as advertising. The IAA Olive Crown Awards grew to become awards that are recognizing work that is encompassing the entire Asia. We at the IAA India chapter have strived to put sustainability and communicating sustainability at the very core of everything that we do. Leading by example, the IAA Olive Crown Awards continues to be the digital in our entire pre-award ceremony. Taking cue from last year, where the entire evening was designed, where we had used upcycled crates with a dash of green. So this year, what we did is that we reimagined the elements and we put together the entire experience using jute, coir, and topiar to make the evening just a tad bit more green. So join me in applauding yourselves for ensuring that the most precious client of them all, planet Earth, heals this year against seemingly some of the most challenging of odds. Each and every one of you here has done your bit, tiny or large. You've supported causes, you've amplified voices, and most importantly, you have looked out and made sure that others looked out too for our common ground. This evening, while we celebrate the brilliant campaigns and their creators, and have sustained it over the years with the help of some of the most selfless individuals in this industry. And on the 22nd of August, we lost one such individual, one of the finest Marcom professionals the world has ever seen. While there will never be enough words or emotions that can describe this loss, from us, here's a small tribute to an institution of the Indian advertising fraternity and the IAA India chapter. Can we have the AV, please?
যদি তোর ডাক শুনে কেউ না আসে তবে একলা চলো রে যদি তোর ডাক শুনে কেউ না আসে তবে একলা চলো রে তবে একলা চলো একলা চলো একলা চলো একলা চলো রে তবে একলা চলো একলা চলো একলা চলো একলা চলো রে
Once in a while, there comes along a decisive leader, a compassionate colleague, a warm and delightful friend. Once in a while, there comes along someone who has truly cared, with whom you have genuinely shared experiences that will always linger, memories that will never fade. Thank you, Pradeep, for having come along and being that special person.
যদি তোর ডাক শুনে কেউ না আসে তবে একলা চলো রে যদি তোর ডাক শুনে কেউ না আসে তবে একলা চলো রে
Ladies and gentlemen, could I please request all of you to rise just for a moment, and can we take that collective moment to remember and celebrate the boss, PG? Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Well, just to let each and every one of you know that that was backed by his favorite track, his caller tune, in Piyush Pandey's voice and Ramesh Narayan's words, echoing what we all do feel. Well, ladies and gentlemen, to now, this evening, officially welcome each and every one of you. Please, let's welcome onto this stage Ms. Megha Tata, President, IAA India Chapter, as she begins this evening.
Thank you, Frisha. Good evening, friends. It is my pleasure to welcome all of you on behalf of IAA to this lovely evening. It is so good to meet so many of you in person after such a long time. But before I go ahead and deliver my address and thank the people that have helped put together this show, I also would like to take a minute to remember someone who has been an institute and has shaped the Marcom industry and especially IAA and its various initiatives. He has gone to great lengths to position India in the global markets, and his readiness to contribute in various capacities has been extremely remarkable. While he has made his presence felt, we all know, I think his absence will be felt even more. PG, you will always be in our hearts. This evening is dedicated to those who speak the language of sustainability. Creatively, and for more than a decade now, we have been furthering this green agenda through the IAA Olive Crown Awards. We've seen campaigns and brands go from doing something green to being vested in sustainability, and we are glad that this is a platform to showcase work that can inspire. While the last year was tough, we all know, for all of us, it was a time for pure joy for nature, ironically. A silver lining, I would say. One of the things that 2020 definitely taught us, that the nature loved our lockdown. Even if it meant being a small window for the environment to breathe. It is rather a little sad that it took a lockdown for us to know what truly our planet can become if we just do our part in helping it. Never would have thought to see humpback whales gave us such a sighting around in the Mumbai coast. The flamingos came in for a soiree. The snow-capped Himalayas were visible from cities far away. I mean, I would have never thought that was possible. Our rivers became cleaner, pollution levels dropped, our air became cleaner. But that was when we were confined. We need to find this balance and coexist every single day. And some of the campaigns we have seen this year have presented that balance beautifully. While saluting these green champions, we wouldn't have been able to put this together without the help of our wonderful partners. To begin with, my heartfelt gratitude to Z for always being so supportive in all the IAA initiatives. Thank you to the entire team of Z. To my fellow colleagues at Discovery, thank you for your support for such an important cause. To the entire AFA team for making these awards truly Asians, and we will see some great work this evening coming out of our Asian countries as well. Some of our other partners I'd like to thank is the Hindu Group, AFAX, Campaign India, MXM, Media News for You, Exchange for Media, and Avado. To the champions at the IAA, always smiling and doing their best, Saumin and Archana, for running behind the scenes so smoothly. To the entire Mancom team, and especially our chairperson, Neeraj Roy, for seeing this event through after so many challenges. To Hansa Events, who's always been a supporter for all the IA events, at least the ones I have led. And especially thanks to Ketki for being that wonderful smiling supporter always for us. And lastly, Ramesh sir, for all his inputs, efforts, and guidance to put this together in such challenging times. Thank you once again for coming today. I hope you enjoy the evening. Thank you. Stay safe.
Thank you. Thank you so much, ma'am. And now, folks, I'd like to request Mr. Neeraj Roy, our Chairperson, IAA Olive Crown Awards 2021, to come and join us.
Thank you, Trisha. Good evening, friends, and welcome. My daughter turned 16 this year, and she did an internship with the World Wildlife Fund earlier this year. An application she made pretty much on her own, insisted she didn't want any help from me for the same. She was 5 when she first spoke to me about the importance of trees and forests in our lives and indeed a great greener planet. It was the same year 2 distinguished gentlemen and pillars of the IAA initiated the IAA Olive Crown Awards. Then President and my friend and fellow colleague Kaushik Roy and our very own sage and oracle of the IAA, Ramesh Narayan, gave birth to the idea at the Goa Fest in Goa. We've obviously come a long way since, but sadly the state of our planet has deteriorated at a pace faster than imagined. On behalf of the International Advertising Association India chapter, I welcome you all to the 11th edition of the IAA Olive Crown Awards in partnership with Zee Entertainment and Discovery Channel. The United States Secretary General Antonio Guterres said the working group's report at the Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change, or IPCC, published last month, was nothing less than a code red for humanity. The alarm bells are deafening, and the evidence is irrefutable. He noted that the internationally agreed threshold of 1.5 degrees above pre-industrial levels of global heating was perilously close. We are at imminent risk of hitting that 1.5 degree in the near term. In fact, if anything, they've moved the timeline from what was 240 to 230. The only way to prevent exceeding this threshold is by urgently stepping up our efforts and pursuing the most ambitious path. This report was prepared by 234 scientists from 66 nations, and it warns us that global surface temperature has increased at a rate which since 1970, in a 50-year period, has never been witnessed over 2,000 years. What is happening? There is one community, that is the millennials, which represent the largest demographic around the world, and they're leading the change towards sustainable goals, and they are taking most brands and businesses with them. Did you know 40% of millennials would choose a job because the employer performs better on sustainability? 41% of high net worth individuals under 40 would prefer to invest in sustainable businesses. 53% of millennials would choose your product over a competitor if it was environmentally friendly. Over the next 2 decades, our entire customer base and your teams, the talent you are hoping to attract, will largely be millennials and Gen Z. And we know that they rate a brand's ethics and sustainability higher than ever before. So it will be impossible and impractical to actually ignore these trends. Brands, media, advertisers, agencies, marketeers, well, essentially the core of the IAA community, has always played a key role in communication for centuries. And it is encouraging to note that brands here in India too are taking note and actions. According to the Financial Express, Dabur is removing outer paper cartons from its toothpaste brand Dabur Red Paste Flipkart is working towards reducing the need for an outer layer of packaging and has eliminated all single-use plastic packaging. Further, Mondelez India has announced a grant to the Hasiru Dala, an NGO that will recycle multi-layered plastic, which is prominent packaging material used by the company. Unilever is introducing a paper-based laundry detergent bottle in Brazil in 2022, followed by Europe and other markets. One of the reasons for all these initiatives is consumer preference. And as per a 2021 Deloitte study, the environment is a top priority for millennials and Gen Z consumers. And that is why we are delighted that this year the IAA Olive Crown Awards received over 200 entries across 20 categories, and some from other countries too, as Megha spoke about. We know that the last financial year has been an extremely challenging, to say the least, for media companies, marketeers, agencies alike. And that makes the case for these entries even becoming more profound, and for the IAA to recognize and celebrate the participation and indeed the winners even more. And I would like each of you all to sort of, a big round of applause for all of that and for all of you to being here. This spirit of the fact that the show must go on reminds me of one of the biggest champions of celebrating creative success across media and entertainment, our very own Pradeep Guha. PG went away too soon and too suddenly, and we miss him terribly. But we know he too will be raising a toast tonight in heaven to these champions of sustainability lending their support to a greener planet. And to that, once again, a big round of applause. On behalf of the IAA, I would like to place on record our sincere appreciation for our partners, Z Entertainment and Discovery, and of course, our very eminent jury, led by Bobby Pawar, along with Tista Sen, Kaushik Roy, Josie Paul, and Carlton De Silva. We hope that the IAA Olive Crown will continue to inspire creativity and encourage brands to communicate more to preserve the planet as we know, because we need it. And जैसा किसी ने कभी कहा था, उम्मीद पर दुनिया कायम है. With that hope, once again, thank you to all of you for taking the time to be here to celebrate this. Thank you to each and every one of our partners, and a big, big round of thank you to the Secretariat of IAA and the team of Hansa Events, who have really stood by. Some of you all are aware, we attempted this event in March. We couldn't do so, but here we are, and we hope that you and your families will continue to remain safe and healthy, and we look forward to having a wonderful round and wonderful evening this evening. Thank you so much, my friends.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Mr. Roy. Well, ladies and gentlemen, every year, hundreds of entries, as he did mention, come in across from various categories right here at the IAA Olive Crown Awards. So before we go ahead and we recognize those who have taken that chance and made a difference for our planet Earth, it is also time for us to recognize our eminent jury. The jury who has spent countless hours patiently judging the entries to determine the final winners. This year, like this event as well, it was done in a hybrid way. So, in fact, why don't you take a look and see what went on behind the scenes? Let's take a look.
As usual, it's always great fun to judge the Olive Crown Awards and to be part of an institution that promotes environmental consciousness and sustainability efforts across brands and corporations, right? This year it was quite heartening to see some really good ideas come out despite the troubling times we've all been through. and the limitations they all posed, right? So all in all, I think there was some interesting work, and obviously some work that could have been pushed further. But I think when you look at the results, you'll see that it wasn't as bad of a year as one would have assumed it would be, and in fact, it was pretty good.
The environment and what we are leaving behind or helping to preserve has been one of the most pressing concerns over the last year, and the pandemic has brought these issues even closer to home. When brands take up the task of working towards sustainability and initiatives that work towards a green and healthy planet, we are finally walking the talk. The Olive Crown Award recognizes such campaigns and hopes to encourage the industry to take this up as a priority.
One of the things we looked for as a jury was specific actions. We feel that awareness is not enough. We need to sort of not just engage people, but move them into a specific action, move ourselves into a specific action. And that's one of the big criteria for this year's award selection.
This year's judging has been special because it has been a very unusual year, and it's refreshing to be able to sort of sit and see the amount of work that has happened, and some of the work that we have awarded are definitely outstanding, and kudos to the team who've worked from home and with all the limitations that managed to put together something worth looking at and debating over, and then finally give an award.
Congratulations to the IAA for having the 11th Olive Crown Awards. I think this year the entries have upped their game of sorts. I think even the international entries were excellent which came in. And I do hope that in the future India makes sustenance the core part of their campaigns in whichever advertising campaigns they move forward.
You know sometimes why we make these jury AVs, right? Because if you didn't win, then we just put it out there so you know who to catch later on outside. I'm just joking. Well, folks, we're extremely delighted to have with us Mr. Srinivasan Swamy, immediate past chairperson and world president, IAA Global, and vice chairperson, AFA, along with Ms. Megha Tata, President, IAA India Chapter and Managing Director, South Asia at Discovery Communications India, Mr. Neeraj Roy, Chairperson, Olive Crown Awards 2021 and founder and CEO, Hungama Digital Media Entertainment, as they come and join us on stage as we would like to present a small token of our gratitude to our eminent jury. First, y'all, please. Yeah, I will. And now, may I request Ms. Tista Sen, Regional Creative Director, South Asia, Wonderman Thompson, Mr. Carlton De Silva, Chief Executive Officer and Chief Creative Officer at Hungama Digital Services, and Mr. Kaushik Roy, past President, IAA India Chapter, to come and join us on stage. Also, I don't think we have in the audience, but we'll give them a big round of applause as well, Mr. Bobby Pawar, Chairman and Creative Officer at Havas Group, and Mr. Josie Paul, Chairman and Chief Creative Officer, BBDO India. as we know it, has undergone seismic changes. The pandemic has reformed ways of working. And of course, it has been a challenging year for everyone. So before we do proceed with the evening and recognize the amazing work that all of you have done to communicate sustainability, it is also time that we recognize the sacrifices that have been made by these warriors to protect all of us. So paying a tribute to these warriors on behalf of all of us this evening is Miss Samarpita Banerjee, Deputy Editor, Business Insider. Ma'am, can you please, if you're here, yes you are, come and join us on stage. Ma'am, actually, if you could continue joining us on stage just for a second, that was so wonderful. Please, can we have another round of applause? That was such a wonderful tribute. And can I now please request Ms. Megha Tata, once again, can you join us on stage? We have a small token of our gratitude for you. And after that wonderful tribute, it's also time for us to now acknowledge all those who have made this evening possible, our wonderful partners. An industry leader in the media, broadcast, and digital space, sharing stories that connect with the soul. They have helped us put this evening together, our presenting partner, Z. So please, let's give them a big round of applause and let's take a look at the AV. And now on to our associate partners this evening, Discovery, the latest from their stables. Let's take a look.
Ladies and gentlemen, your attention, please. We are the new kings, winning this fight tonight with our name lit up in lights. We are the new kings. This is our time to shine. Set it off like dynamite. We are the new kings, winning this fight tonight with our name lit up in lights. We are the new kings. This is our time to shine. Set it off like dynamite.
Thank you so much, Discovery. And so to present a token of our appreciation to our partners for their support and in coming together for this evening, once again, could I please invite Ms. Megha Tata and Mr. Neeraj Roy to come and join me on stage for the felicitation. And first up, could I request our associate partner, Discovery? May I request Azmat Jagmag, Marcom Head, Discovery Communications India, to come and join us and accept this token. May I now request Suresh Balakrishna, Chief Revenue Officer, the Hindu Group, to come and join us on stage to accept the token. Now I'd like to request Sanjyot Jayawant from Campaign India to join us on stage, please. Ankit Rajput from Media News for You to come and join us on stage. Thank you for being our web media partner for tonight. And our technology partner, awardor, may I please request Sraval Roy Mothukuru, Chief Maven at Avador Inc., to come and join us to accept this token. Thank you both. Thank you so much. And now, ladies and gentlemen, on to the part of the evening that we have all been eagerly waiting for. This year was different because, after all, this year was all about planet Earth healing. Keeping that in mind, we've also got some very interesting trivia bits that we will be giving you through the course of this evening on how planet Earth actually behaved in 2020. For example, for the month of April, the world cut its daily carbon dioxide emissions by 17% at the peak of the pandemic shutdown. And with the entirety of 2020, we are looking at a 6% drop in carbon emissions as compared to 2019. That is a very, very good as well as big deal. So with that, to present our first set of awards, may I please request Rani Reddy, IAA Mancom member and director at Indira Television Limited. Also, Janak Sarda, Vice President, Young Professionals and Digital Innovations, IAA Global and Managing Director at Deshdoot Media Group. Thank you for coming and joining us. Also, a very special shout out. Mr. Sarda, congratulations. 50 years of Deshdoot for y'all. Congratulations. Sir and ma'am, just to quickly also let you know that you will be giving away our first 2 olive crowns for this evening. Our first category for the evening is Press Consumer Products. In this category, we have 1 silver olive crown. Let's take a look at the winner.
In the category Press Consumer Products, the silver olive crown goes to Wonderman Thompson, Kolkata. 4. Kill or Recycle. 4. Tata Chroma.
The choice is fairly easy if any of you asks. We either recycle this plastic waste or we let it affect us adversely. And this was a wonderful campaign for us to kickstart this evening with. Could I please request the team from Wonderman Thompson, Kolkata, to come and join us on stage? Put your hands together, ladies and gentlemen. Category has 2 silvers and 1 gold olive crown. So let's take a look at the first joint silver olive crown. Can we have the AV, please?
In the category Press Services, the joint silver olive crown goes to Sri Rang Charitable Trust. 4. Vittal is Environment. In the category is Press Consumer.
Indeed, God resides within all of us, especially within the environment. So congratulations. May I request the team from Sri Rang Charitable Trust to please come and join us on stage. The teams of Vithal and Sri Rang Charitable Trust. Thank you. Yes, thank you. To present our next set of awards, can I please invite Ms. Nandini Dias, IAA Mancom member and Chief Executive Officer, Lodestar and she will be joined by Mr. Partho Dasgupta, IAA Mancom member and President, the Advertising Club, as they come and present our next set of awards. Ma'am, sir, you will be presenting 2 Olive Crown Awards this evening. So let's have a look, ladies and gentlemen, at the second Joint Silver Olive Crown in the category of Press Consumer Services. Have the AV, please.
The joint silver olive crown goes to Ogilvy for The Turtle and the Elephant for the Hindu Group.
Well, talking about causes that do matter, the survival and growth of animals is just as important to us as humans on planet Earth. A big congratulations to the teams of the Hindu Group and at Ogilvy. Can I please request you to come and join us on stage? Congratulations. All right, and folks, let's take a look at that gold olive crown. Can we take a look, please?
Press Services. The gold olive crown goes to Sri Rang Charitable Trust for eco-friendly Ganesha celebration with health for Maharashtra Pollution Control Board.
Would you look at that? Absolutely beautiful campaign, starting a conversation on eco-friendly celebrations and of course ensuring that it does take place at a grassroots level. A big congratulations to the teams of the Maharashtra Pollution Control Board and at Sri Rang Charitable Trust. Thank you. Well, folks, an estimated 8 million tons of plastic entered our oceans in the year 2020, adding to the existing problem of ocean pollution. Now, that is something that you can truly sit and think about. Let's move on to our next category for this evening. But before that, may I please request Ms. Tista Sen, Regional Creative Director at South Asia, Wonderman Thompson, and Mr. Avinash Pandey, IAA Mancom member and CEO, ABP News Network Private Limited, to come and join us to present that next set of awards. Ma'am, sir, just to let you know, you will be presenting 2 awards this evening. Our next category, it's all about tele-commercials. There is 1 silver and 1 gold Olive Crown in this category. So let's take a look at the silver Olive Crown.
In the category TVC, Cinema, Services, the Silver Olive Crown goes to Srirang Charitable Trust for Eco-Friendly Ganesha Celebration with Health, for Maharashtra Pollution Control Board.
Definitely an impactful campaign.
एक एक ठिगळ म्हणजे एक एक आठवण. ही आठवण म्हणजेच गोधडी. प्रेमळ मायेची उबदार गोधडी म्हटलं की आजीच आठवते. जुन्या कापडांना वाया न जाऊ देता कलात्मक पद्धतीने नवीन रूप देता येतं. खरंच या गोष्टीला रिसायकलिंग म्हणजेच पर्यावरणपूरक म्हणता येईल. या गोधडीत असणारे आपुलकीचे रंग, नात्यांची वीण आणि मायेची ऊब मनाला समाधान देते.
मोरेश्वर तू, बल्लाळेश्वर, चिंतामणी तू, तू विघ्नेश्वर, गिरिजात्मक तू, तू सर्वेश्वर, विद्यापती तू, तू विद्याधर, अविनाशा तू, विघ्नेशा तू, चतुर्भुज तू.
There you go, bagging that 3rd Olive Crown for this evening. A big congratulations to the team of Srirang Charitable Trust. Moving ahead, let's take a look at that gold Olive Crown in this category. Can we have the AV, please?
TVC, Cinema, Services, the Gold Olive Crown goes to Wonderman Thompson India for #SOS, Save Our Sentinels for Jimmy Nelson Foundation.
Just one word for that campaign, impactful, don't you think? Well, folks, let's welcome onto the stage the teams of Jimmy Nelson Foundation and Wonderman Thompson India, because a long-drawn effort that continues to amaze all of us. Thank you both so much. Yes. Well, folks, moving on to our next category, could I please request Ms. Azmat Jagmag, Marcom Head, Discovery Communication, India, as well as Mr. Alok Jalan, Director at Lakshya Media, to come and join us to present that next set of awards. giving away a total of 2 Olive Crowns this evening. Well, folks, that next category, it is Press Corporate. There is 1 Silver Olive Crown in this category. So let's take a look at who that is.
In the category Press Corporate, the Silver Olive Crown goes to Ogilvy for Meet the Dumbest Creature of the Planet and Hats Off to Your Courage, Dear Human for the Hindu Group.
Bagging another Olive Crown this evening. Congratulations to the teams of the Hindu Group and Ogilvy. Let's give them a round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. Our next category is basically what the entire world embraced in 2020. We all went digital. There is 1 Silver Olive Crown in this category. So let's take a look with the AV.
In the category Digital, the Silver Olive Crown goes to Cora Worldwide for #Together with Nature for National Geographic.
National Geographic presents Together with Nature. We used video conferencing backdrops as an innovative media space. By using customized wallpapers that you could download and use, people took a stand every time they took a video call. Quarterly review? Not without thinking about global warming. Team huddle? A meeting of plastic warriors. We got fans on social media to download the images from a Dropbox link, and they did the rest. The wallpapers were downloaded over 5,000 times, and the brand reached out to more than 150,000 people on digital media with ₹0 spent. A simple video call reminded people of nature, even when they were away from it.
Well, a big kudos to the teams of National Geographic and Cora Worldwide. Congratulations. Thank you so much. I'd now like to request Mr. Pradeep Dwivedi, Vice President, IAA and CEO at Eros India of Eros STX Global Corporation, as well as Mr. Abhishek Karnani, Honorable Treasurer, IAA and Director at the Free Press Journal, as well as Kobi Shoshani, Consul General of Israel in Mumbai, to please come and join us on stage and present that next set of awards. Gentlemen, just to quickly let you know, you will be presenting the next 3 Olive Crowns across 2 categories. Thank you. Our next category is events. So let's take a look at the first joint Silver Olive Crown in this category. Let's take a look.
In the category Events, the joint Silver Olive Crown goes to Ogilvy India for Eco Lorry for Vodafone Idea Limited.
उत्तर भारत में लोहड़ी का त्योहार काफी धूमधाम से मनाया जाता है, तो इस साल हम लेकर आए वोडाफोन इको लोहड़ी। जिसमें हमने कुछ सामान्य लकड़ी के बदले डाली बायोमास की हीटिंग। हमने बायोमास के धुएं को वोडाफोन के मॉनिटरिंग डिवाइसेस से जांचा और ये साबित किया कि इसका धुआं एनवायरनमेंट को प्रदूषित नहीं करता। फिर हमने इन ईंटों को वोडाफोन स्टोर द्वारा हजारों लोगों तक पहुंचाया ताकि इस साल की लोहड़ी बनी वोडाफोन इको लोहड़ी।
How wonderful, an eco-conscious take on a very lively festival that gets celebrated in North India. Could I please request the team from Ogilvy, India to come and join us on stage? Congratulations once again to both the teams of Vodafone Idea as well as Ogilvy. And now, let's take a look at the second joint silver olive crown.
The joint silver olive crown goes to Reliance Industries Limited for R. Elan at LFW 2020.
I think one of the coolest things about what Pankaj and Nidhi and R. Elan have done is that they've included sustainability into this really beautiful collection which incorporates also one of my most favorite things, which is iridescence, as you can see. It's a beautiful, it looks really magical, and I had a great time walking on the ramp because I love their collection, and when you really love the collection and the outfit that you're wearing, you just feel good.
Indeed, sustainable fashion definitely is a way forward. So a big congratulations to the teams of R. Elan and Reliance Industries Limited. Can I please request the team to come and join us on stage? All right. It looks like we don't have. We do? You'll take it home instead? There. All right, folks, so let's take a look at our next category.
The joint silver olive crown goes to Ogilvy, Mumbai for I Will Wear Out Plastic for United Nations Environment Program.
Congratulations to the team at Ogilvy. Please put your hands together. Thank you, and thank you so much, gentlemen. Yes, thank you. Well, before we do go ahead with our next set of awards, once again, a little bit of trivia for each and every one of you. According to a leading global insurance company, the global direct cost of wildfires in 2020 was $17 billion, ranking as the fifth costliest wildfire year that we have had in history. And now, folks, I'd like to request Mr. Bhaskar Das, IAA, Mancom, and Group President at Republic TV, and Mr. Carlton De Silva, jury member and co-founder at the House of Awe, along with Harshad Rajadaksha, CCO Ogilvy, to come and join us on stage. Gentlemen, you will be presenting 2 Olive Crowns this evening. Our next category is all about initiatives and innovations that are nascent in thought, but we know are big in potential. While we have 2 silver and 1 gold Olive Crowns in this category. So first, we will be taking a look at the joint silver Olive Crown. Let's take a look.
In the category New Age Green Initiatives, the joint silver olive crown goes to Ogilvy, Mumbai, for I Will Wear Out Plastic, for United Nations Environment Programme.
Hi, this is Masaba Gupta. I'm sure all of us know what the state of the environment is today. This is House of Masaba's way of giving back to the environment.
What a brilliant campaign, ladies and gentlemen. Such an innovative thought. And of course, congratulations to both the teams. We will be presenting the joint silver and gold in this category a little later this evening. Our next category is about young individuals creating and sending out ripples of change, making their dent in the world and ensuring that they do their bit to inspire others to do as well in protecting planet Earth. A new addition has been made to the awards this year, and a befitting one for someone from the Marcom fraternity. So let's take a look at the Young Green Crusader of the Year. Can we have the AV, please?
The Young Green Crusader of the Year is Prachi Shivgaonkar.
Hi everyone, my name is Prachi Shivgaonkar and I'm a media professional. When I was in college, I first learned about the climate crisis and the role I was playing in it. It troubled me. I wanted to do something about it, at least at my own level, but I had no idea what I could do. So I went to my father and I asked him, what can I do about climate change? We came up with a simple solution. To start with, I would reduce my own greenhouse gas emissions by 10%. But how? Which activities of mine were leading to most emissions? If I switched off a light bulb, would that help? Or will it help more if I travel by public transport? How do I keep track of all of this? How do I ensure that I'm reaching my target savings? From this was born an idea for an app that would help individuals reduce their own greenhouse gas emissions to a target. This app would be free and open source for all, so that the common man could take individual action on climate change. We need nothing short of a miracle to avoid the worst effects of climate change. But when people like us come together to make climate action a part of our lives, miracles can happen. The question is, how do we get citizens to care about climate change? There's nobody more equipped to make that happen than the people sitting in this very room today. With each passing day, I'm more and more amazed by the power we hold as members of this industry. So I want to thank International Advertising Association for believing in this campaign that I started as a young media student sitting in my dorm room. And with your support, it's turning into a citizen-led movement for climate action. So today, I ask all of you, the best and the brightest in the media industry, how can we put our minds together and convince people that in the face of climate change, their voice matters, their actions matter, and that together, we can make a difference.
Ladies and gentlemen, aged just 22, Prachi founded Cool the Globe, which was a mobile app which allows you to calculate, analyze, track, and then accordingly reduce one's own carbon emissions into the environment. Her passion project today has turned into a citizen movement which helps to tackle climate change. So can I please request Miss Prachi Shivgaonkar, founder at Cool the Globe, to come and join us on stage. Thank you so much. Yeah, thank you. Well, folks, it's time for another trivia little tidbit, and this time on a pleasant note, not to scare anyone in this room. In March 2020, air travel dropped by 50% of what it had been in March 2019. Of course, naturally, it was the largest decline we had seen in recent history. Parts of India, which normally would have been blanketed by air pollution, suddenly started reported to be seen. And the Himalayas, for the first time, is such a wonderful example of just that. So while this has been great for the environment, our winners from other Asian countries could unfortunately not join us this evening. We do hope that they are right now watching us live on all our social media handles. Staying true to being with the Asian Awards, there are some campaigns that drew the jury's attention more than the others. We would like to thank all the brands and agencies that had sent in their entries. And now we will have a look at the campaigns that have won across categories, but unfortunately, our winners could not personally be here and join us. So first up, in the category Out of Home, we had a joint silver Olive Crown. Let's take a look at the winner.
In the category Out of Home, the joint silver Olive Crown goes to Medialand Digital Strategy Limited for water cycling for Dan Forest Park Eco Gym.
Filthy ponds and parks cause serious environmental problems in Taiwan. Not only does it smell bad, it might also spread disease. On the other hand, citizens in Taiwan love to exercise in parks. Why don't we convert the kinetic power into energy and help the water pond to flow? Water cycling. This simple machine brought the pond back to life and re-establish the balance between plants and animals. You can even connect it to a mobile device. Once you start paddling, the volume of water being cycled shows in real time. Your personal cycling score can be saved and accumulated. You can even compete to be the strongest cyclist. In just 6 months, more than 100,000 citizens joined the water cycling. The mayor of Taipei City also joined. It draws lots of news and media coverage.
What a superb campaign, cycling and recycling away the woes of our planet Earth. Congratulations to the teams of the Down Forest Park and Media Land Digital Strategy Limited for their water cycling campaign. The next two campaigns have collectively won 6 awards across 3 different categories, and their work display definitely needs to be seen in its entirety. So for the first winner, winning silver in New Age initiatives, silver in the International Green Campaign of the Year, and a gold in events is the team from Heartbeat Creative Lab for the Taiwan government's facial mask for the soil and Conservation Bureau COO. Let's take a look at that AV.
The Taiwan government has its own facial mask brand. The terrain in Taiwan is steep and fragile, so soil and water conservation becomes a problem. It always leads to severe damage. Thus, our objective was to help the Soil and Water Conservation Bureau, COA, promote the knowledge of soil and water conservation and make the Taiwanese pay attention to this important issue. Idea. In a creative, useful, and relevant way, we replanned the Soil and Water Conservation Bureau's past invalid propaganda. First, we pushed the government and facial mask brand to collaborate and connected facial masks to the issue of soil and water conservation. Then, we created a new facial mask product line. We designed a special package to make the facial mask soil and water conservation friendly. We put soil and water conservation information on the package, telling people that our skin needs to be moisturized and the environment has to conserve its soil and water. The important environmental issue could thus easily touch people's lives. After the facial mask was launched, its sales volume reached 75%. We also promoted this facial mask on the Soil and Water Conservation Bureau, COA's, Facebook fan page. Within 10 days, without boosting, social posts had 25,000 people reached, 4,000 engaged, and 6,000 views.
Well, would you look at that? An absolutely brilliant idea communicating sustainability. The other campaign was not at all bittersweet, as its title does say. If there was a jury special award, then this campaign would definitely have bagged another one as well. But for now, winning 3 gold olive crowns across 3 categories, once again, is the team from Heartbeat Creative Lab, winning for their campaign, Disaster Chocolate, Bitter and Sweet, Day by Day. Let's take a look at the AV.
Disaster chocolate, bitter and sweet. There are many kinds of disasters happening every day. People are tired of global warming. To arouse people's attention to the global warming issue, we discarded traditional propaganda. In the Day by Day shop, we launched the limited dessert called Disaster Chocolate, based on the issue of global warming. Sweet chocolate creates conflicts between vision and taste, so consumers can not only enjoy chocolate, but also feel the pain that the earth suffers. We hope this sense of conflict can make an impression on consumers. Humans taste sweetness while the earth suffers pain. Why did we choose chocolate to create a sense of conflict? Because climate change also affects cocoa bean production. Maybe humans won't have chocolate in the future. Disaster chocolate corresponds to 9 environmental topics. With Day by Day's temperature baking, we launched a disaster chocolate special dish. As consumers ate the chocolate, they would feel the sweetness but start to reflect on themselves. Ozone hole chocolate. We served 3 pieces of ozone hole chocolate with different ages. When these chocolates are piled up, they show that if global warming gets serious, the Earth will narrow the ozone hole. Rising sea level chocolate. There are 2 ways of tasting the car-like chocolate. First, pour milk on it. Second, put the chocolate into a glass of milk. This demonstrates how, when the sea level rises, the car will sink. Coral bleaching chocolate. When you have a bite of coral bleaching chocolate, you'll find sticks that represent coral bones. It reminds consumers that corals will bleach if they stay in waters with unusual temperature. Heat wave chocolate. Before it's served, we heat the chocolate by microwave. The melting chocolate shows the rising temperature caused by global warming, and it also tells what fatal impacts it would bring. Bushfire chocolate. When the chocolate is served, it's smoked. It shows that climate change makes bushfires become more severe. Extinction chocolate. We hid a polar bear in the chocolate. When consumers eat it, it's like global warming, and we want consumers to know that polar bears are about to become extinct. Desertification chocolate. This chocolate has powder in it. When consumers eat it, the powder will easily become scattered. We hope to remind consumers of desertification. Cocoa bean trees are about to become extinct. Consumers need to peel it. It symbolizes global warming, and that's why cocoa bean trees are getting fewer and fewer. Drought chocolate. When there's a lack of rain, the soil will become dry and generate cracks. Thus, we serve this chocolate without any drinks. Consumers would feel thirsty and thus experience what drought is like. We made the disasters correspond to different kinds of baking tea. Thus, after consumers tasted sweetness, they could also better understand how the earth suffers. Through this limited event, consumers realized the importance of protecting the environment. With this conflicted combination, many reservations were made. Humans taste sweetness while the earth suffers pain. Let's try the same bitterness that the earth is experiencing.
Wow, would you look at that? These campaigns definitely do deserve that round of applause. I'd now like to invite Mr. Kaushik Roy, our jury member and advisor at Reliance Industries Limited, Mr. Ramesh Narayan, IAA Mancom member and founder at Canco Advertising Private Limited, to come and join us on stage. While our winners, of course, of these categories could not join us here this evening, we have with us Vice Chairperson AFA, Mr. Srinivasan Swamy. Sir, can I also ask you to come and join us as you accept one of the 7, we won't make you walk away with all 7, on behalf of our AFA winners. Mr. Swamy, thank you. Yes, thank you, sir. Well, folks, our next category for this evening is for organizations that have tirelessly worked towards uplifting the community at large, while being eco-conscious as well as putting sustainability at the heart of all their hard work. In this category, we have 1 gold olive crown. So let's take a look at what that is. Can we have the AV, please?
The Green NGO of the Year is Project Mumbai.
If you just take a walk or a drive along the eastern suburbs of Mumbai, where there is one of the largest dump yards in Mumbai, there are so much of plastic and waste dumps that it could have multiple buildings that can get occupied, and this is just about 7 or 8% of the larger waste that gets created out of Mumbai. Most of the plastic that gets collected is essentially dumped by people who think that nobody is watching. So what we did was made the entire proposition extremely interesting. People are very health conscious, so we called it the Plastic Recyclathon, because people are also very excited about marathons. But give away plastic and give it where? Our proposition was very simple. If you register with us, that means I have your address, we'll do a doorstep pickup. Last year in 2018, when we started the Mumbai Plastic Recyclathon, close to 85,000 people decided to donate the plastic. We got people who gave away trucks so that the mobility is easier. We got citizens of Bombay who wanted to contribute for this cause, so they were volunteers. And then we got the recyclers involved. They said, okay, we'd like to recycle and help this. So it was almost a non-commercial initiative for a cause, for the city. A lot of people asked was, what will you do with the plastic this time? And this time, a portion of the plastic, we are going to make benches for gardens of Mumbai, which are public gardens where largely senior citizens and children go and play. Students who have donated plastic will make pencil boxes out of them. And then we said there are housing societies and corporates which have donated plastic. We'll try to make garbage bins out of it.
Would you look at that? Tackling the plastic pollution problem, that too in a city like Mumbai. An initiative of this large kind of proportions, ladies and gentlemen, it really does deserve a very, very big round of applause because it does involve mobilizing so many people in making something like this come together. So may I request the team behind the Mumbai Plastic Recyclathon at Project Mumbai, please do come and join us on stage. A big congratulations once again to Mr. Shishir Joshi for all his initiatives. Gentlemen, thank you. Well, folks, before we do go ahead with any more awards for this evening, we have with us someone who not only has an outstanding voice, but somebody who is also a voice for planet Earth. And tonight he comes and joins us on this stage as he pays tribute to planet Earth in his very own unique fashion. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together and welcome onto this stage, Shan.
Good evening, everyone. What a wonderful evening it's been, really. And so many positive things that we're going to go back home with. That really feels so nice. Mostly today you meet even casually with friends, and we generally just, there's very few positive things that we can talk about. So it was so nice to hear so many wonderful things here this evening. And of course, a few wines down, I hope this performance goes down well too. But at the same time, once again, a big congratulations to the entire team of Green Olive Awards. And congratulations to so many of you. I can sense a sense of recycle also. Quite a few have won quite a few awards. So, but okay. In case the singing doesn't do well, but I thought I'll just say a few things and cover up for that. But have to now get down to it. So I'd like to sing a song from the film Three Idiots. It is called Behti Hawa Sa Thawo. And as we all know that with every passing year, the concern for environment and is getting stronger. We're not too sure whether it's too late or we still have time, but we have to give our best shot. And so each one present here, we're all winners, and we're all, there's a legacy that you've started and you're leaving us with. So this one is for all the winners that have all decided to do something more than just run their own businesses. They've all decided to make a change to the positive for the world. So I can play the track and I'll attempt singing it. And welcome, Aditya.
बहती हवा सा था वो, उड़ती पतंग सा था वो, कहाँ गया उसे ढूंढो।
गया से ढूंढो, हमको तो राहें थी चलाती, वो खुद अपनी राह बनाता, गिरता संभलता मस्ती में चलता था वो। हमको कल की फिक्र सताती, वो बस आज का जश्न मनाता, हर लम्हे को खुल के जीता था वो। बादल हमारा था वो, यार हमारा था वो, कहाँ गया से ढूंढो। लगती धूप सछाओं के जैसे, रेगिस्तान में गाँव के जैसे, मन के जख्मों पे मरहम जैसे था वो। हम सहमे से गोते लग, गोते लगाता, उल्टी धारा चीर के तैरता था वो। यार हमारा था वो, छूके हमारे दिल को, कहाँ गया से ढूंढो, हाँ कहाँ गया उसे ढूंढो। Shukriya, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Yes, when we probably made the song, it was about a certain gentleman, but you can surely relate this with nature, and we're going to revive, we're going to find back, and such wonderful things that we got to know that, yes, maybe this COVID was God sent just to save nature. And if you look at it that way, it's made a difference, a positive difference. It's also given us some time to, you know, sit back, realize that we're going wrong and how we can change this. And all those who've come out as winners have been the few forces that are for positive change. And we have one young gentleman right here sitting with us, quietly doing his, I know him for many, many years now, but now being with the ministry and doing so much for environment. Aditya Thackeray, we're really, really happy and very, very, very relieved to have someone who has this strong sense for nature. And another such gentleman that I've been working with for a while now, Asif Bamla sahab. And together we have been, talking about nature for a very long time. Together, I joined him much later. But it's been 23 years now that Bamla Foundation has been pushing for the cause of environmental change. And in the last few years, we also decided that instead of just having an event, let's create some music, let's create some songs. And so I'd like to sing this other track that same combination. Swanand Kirkire, the amazing National Award winner who wrote Behti Hawa, Char Kadam, many such beautiful songs, has written this song. And I've left my phone, so the lyrics, but luckily this one, thank you sir, thank you so much. Thank you sir. ऐसे गाने ज़्यादा गाने के मौके नहीं मिलते ना, social गाने. तो yeah, we'll have the track. This one is called Dhak Dhak Dharti, and it's a fun track, and at the same time has a great message about biodiversity. How we human beings are only still around here is because of so many other organisms that are doing their work diligently, and we have to support them to support ourselves. So let's have the track, and hope you enjoy this one. It's a fun track. We can all sing together. The whole team is here. I can see Romanchak and Miraj, and of course Neeraj, who's been spearheading the whole marketing and everything on these songs. So we have a lot of family on this one. Here goes. Let's have it. Do a little clapping. It's a fun track. Chiri, mil to nahi raha hai, but I hope I remember.
धक
When the children say it, it connects better.
खुद जी लो सबको जीने दो, ओ खुद जी लो सबको जीने दो, मेरे लिए जरूरी सब। धक 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 धक, धरती का दिल क्या बोले, धक 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 धक।
We had a wonderful lot of singers. That's Adnan Sami on the piano, Shankar Mahadevan, a lot of great voices. So it was a lot of fun. Salim Merchant, Vijay Sharma.
चींटी हो या हाथी हो, सब मेरे जीवन साथी हो। अंबर चिड़िया पानी मछली, बात यही दोहराती हो। घास फूस या फूल और तितली, जंगल नदिया और पर्वत, बोल रहे हैं मिलकर सारे, हो बोल रहे हैं मिलकर सारे, ये और वो और सब। धक 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 धक, धरती का दिल क्या बोले, धक 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 धक।
So like thank Aditya Dev who created the track, the magic. Papan, lots of wonderful singers who joined us on this. Pal Dev.
शेर है राजा पर नन्हे कीड़ों से जंगल बनते, एक मधुमक्खी गुनगुन करती, मौसम के चक्कर चलते। कुछ कॉरल्स की जंजीरों से महासागर रहे काबू में, बर्फ कहीं जो पिघल जरा सी, नदियाँ और झरने बहते, इनसे हम हैं और जहाँ है, हाँ इनसे हम हैं और जहाँ है, समझेंगे हम कब। हाँ धक 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 धक, धरती का दिल क्या बोले, धक 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 धक। और खुद जी लो सबको जीने दो, मेरे लिए जरूरी सब। तो सब मिलके धक 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 धक, धरती का धक 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 धक।
Shukriya, thank you so much. Thank you so much. I knew this was going to happen, so I put my vocal already on the track. Thank you so much. And once again, it's been a wonderful evening, and thank you so much for Neeraj to have me over and maybe carry on.
Can I please request you to continue joining us on stage? We have a small token of our gratitude for you. So Ms. Tata and Mr. Roy, can I please request both of you to come and join us to present that to Shan? Okay. And we have a special request as well. If Mr. Aditya Thackeray, if you could also please come and join us for this moment. Thank you. And Shan, once again, thank you so much. Well, ladies and gentlemen, it's time now for that last little trivia tidbit for this evening. In the first half of 2020, electricity generation by wind and solar rose by 14%. And for the first time ever, it accounted for nearly 10% of all our electricity. Indeed, an upside for the planet Earth in what has definitely been a difficult time for each and every one of us. Well, ladies and gentlemen, and now for a very, very special moment, because we have a very special someone with us. We have somebody who walks and talks the change. He is somebody who decided to dive headfirst into the problem and then do his bit towards the environment and planet Earth. He's been extremely instrumental and efficient in affecting positive changes in the green cover for the city of Mumbai, protecting the RA forests against the proposed construction of the metro shed, recommending changes in the Environment Impact Assessment, the EIA draft, and looking out for the biodiversity hotspots, whether we're talking about the Western Ghats or the Konkan region. He has been responsible for some very key decisions that have been taken to protect as well as safeguard our planet. And of course, that begins for each and every one of us here at home. So could I please request Mr. Srinivasan Swamy, our immediate past chairman and world president, chairman President's Council, IAA Global, and vice chairperson, AFA, Mr. Ramesh Narayan, past president, IAA India chapter, Ms. Megha Tata, our president, IAA India chapter, and Mr. Neeraj Roy, chairperson, IAA Olive Crown Awards 2021, to join us on stage, along with our Green Crusader of the Year. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for Shri Aditya Thackeray, Cabinet Minister for Tourism, Environment and Protocol, Government of Maharashtra. Megha ma'am, if I could now kindly request you to come and join me over here to read the citation.
Thank you, Frisha. The India chapter of the International Advertising Association is pleased to present its Green Crusader Award to Aditya Uddhav Thackeray for his untiring efforts to save the RA forest in Mumbai, for his all-encompassing green vision which has resulted in Majhi Masundra program, for his tangible efforts to hugely increase the footprint of electric mobility in Mumbai's public transport, for his active promotion of urban forests in cities across Maharashtra, for his maturity in understanding the cause of man-animal conflict in urban areas, for his hands-on approach on beach cleanups, for his efforts in getting a marine litter policy implemented, for his positive approach to co-governance to achieve sustainable development, for ushering in a climate of hope in an incredibly short span of 2 years. Presented 3rd of September 2021 in Mumbai. Mr. Aditya Thackeray.
Aditya, could I request you to please continue joining us on stage, because I know that everyone in the audience would love to hear a few words from you. Gentlemen, ma'am, thank you all. Thank you. Please, over to you.
Thank you for having me over here. IAA Olive Crown Awards, I remember last year, you were invited me as well. And it was at, I think, the Grand Maratha. And I was a tad bit late after the function, but I met most of you. And there too I was felicitated. I was a little worried about why I was being felicitated. And that's because last year we had just taken over our posts in government, we had just started working. And after that I was wondering, because obviously I met a couple of young boys and girls and, as a part of the event, which was much larger, and I have to thank you today for keeping this event very COVID appropriate. Because, even, I think someone just mentioned, I think Shanji, you mentioned that I'm a very positive guy, but when normally someone says positive nowadays, you tend to step about 5 or 6 feet behind, and rightfully so. But back then, obviously someone, told me that you're doing great work and you are instrumental in saving RA. Obviously, that was a lot of pressure on me that moment, because that was, I think, around the same time as, March, early March, I believe that was back then. And we hadn't really fully been able to save RA back then. However, in the next few months of COVID lockdown, things started rolling. And while we were working on COVID, we also started moving towards protecting RA. And, Asif ji is here, all of the environmentalists out here. The thing about RA is, it was not about only a few trees. It wasn't about just a few blocks of a forest. It was about an entire biodiversity that exists within our own city. It's about the 808 acres that we've now got reserved as a protected forest officially under the Indian Forest Act. Which makes us unique, because we are probably that one city in the world that not just has enough trees, but we have a leopard population there. We have cubs of leopards there. We have endangered species like the rusty spotted cats there. We have endemic spiders and endemic flora fauna there, which only grows in RA. I think that was a moment of pride. And when I was coming here, I was just remembering, the pressure that was built on in the last Olive Crown Award, and today that I come in front of you, I think we've got on to a great start as as state of Maharashtra. And that I can say because not just 808 acres in the city of Mumbai that we have achieved as, of course, a reserve forest today. Going beyond that, in terms of mangroves, this has always been a bone of contention for a lot of state governments, for a lot of urban local bodies, because you always have this conflict of whether you want to have the mangroves, you want to have a better jetty there. Do you want to have mangroves there? Do you want to have a building coming there? But in the last 1 year, in times of COVID, we've been able to protect, under the Indian Forest Act, Section 20, 9,800 hectares of mangroves and bring them into the protection. This coming year, another 3,000 hectares. You can calculate into acres then. 10 conservation reserves, 7 more coming up, 2 sanctuaries, a marine sanctuary, a flamingo sanctuary by Mumbai within the perimeter of Mumbai, Navi Mumbai, Thane. These are some of the things that we've been doing in the last 1 year while we battled COVID. And that's why, the biggest fear, the mask is on my face. Normally when politicians speak, the mask is better because, even if someone else speaks for you, you can always push it aside saying, no, that wasn't my promise. But be the mask on my face or not, that's a promise I intend to keep. And this award, this recognition is very special for me. I don't see this as an award. I see this as a bit of encouragement for me to go ahead and take the stride, make it into 2 and double it up for you. I think that is what is very crucial for me. We've all probably gotten out of practice in terms of speaking, in terms of public speaking, because most of us are now on VCs, we're interacting with people in limited crowds. But I was on my way here and I was just thinking, what do I speak to you? What do I ask from you? Because obviously, when you meet an august crowd like this, when you have all the people from the best of the best in terms of the ad world, in terms of communication, all the communicators here, I think I can only ask for your help in terms of communicating the climate emergency we face today. You must have seen on Twitter and Instagram and every bit of social media, you can have panic awareness, you can have normal awareness, you can have constructive awareness, you can have destructive awareness, all types of things happen on social media. But if you ask me one thing where I pull my environmental concern from, it was this one bit of beautiful communication that I came across in around 2004, 2005, and I don't know how many of you all watched it, the movie The Day After Tomorrow. Did you all probably watched it? And if you connect that to what happened to New York just day before yesterday, it's coming true. Back then, the day after tomorrow seemed about 100, 150 years from 2004, 2005. 2012, when I just got active in politics, when I started working with my father, with all my colleagues, I visited some of the worst drought-hit areas of Maharashtra. And that's where I saw what drought means, what a famine means, and what the repercussions of that are. For the next 5 years, all of us, social workers, politicians, all of us were going out to the hinterlands of Maharashtra, trying to supply water through water tankers, water railways, water possibly every can possible, every bottle possible. And then from 2018 onwards, we've seen some insane amount of rainfall, storms, cyclones. Just in a span of 11 months, the West Coast that was always safe from tropical cyclones, we faced and we've got hit by 2 cyclones in a span of 11 months. You've got Tokta, you've got Nisarg, and every time you've got rainfall in Mumbai and other parts of Maharashtra, you've had many cloudbursts. Now this, of course, if not a climate emergency, I don't know what to call it. And therefore, when I come in front of you, obviously my promise stands as it is, that we will keep working every single moment of every single day, every single second for the environment, because you don't need an incentive for survival, and this is about survival. This is about the forest fires in Australia, in Europe, in Turkey, in America. This is about the droughts in our own country. This is about the flash floods around the world. This is about what we breathe, because climate change is no longer about the melting poles or the retreating glaciers of the Himalayas. It is about what is happening in our fields, in our farms, in our backyards. And that is where, if we can come together as an industry, communicate to the common man, communicate to the lawyers, communicate to the lawmakers, communicate to every single profession, every single citizen, what climate change means, going beyond the jargons of climate change, I think that is where we would have made a successful start. So if you can, if you would want to, please team up, and I would be a colleague of yours, stronger than ever before, and work for climate change mitigation and adaptation. Thank you. Jai Hind, Jai Maharashtra, Vande Mataram.
Yeah, thank you. And thank you so much, because you are the one person that is continuing to fight that good fight for each and every one of us. Well, can I now once again invite Ms. Megha Tata and Mr. Neeraj Roy to come and join all of us on stage as we go into our last set of awards for this evening. Well, just to let you all know that you all will be giving away a total of 4 olive crowns this evening. Ladies and gentlemen, our next category is about campaigns that have put sustainability at the core. In this category, we have 1 silver and 1 gold olive crown. So let's take a look at that silver olive crown.
In the category Green Campaign of the Year, the Silver Olive Crown goes to Ogilvy, Mumbai for I Will Wear Out Plastic for United Nations Environment Programme.
Wanted to encourage and invite all of you to do your own version of clothes that turn into bags.
Well, folks, that was a brilliant campaign that did encompass all aspects of advertising, marketing, and communication. Congratulations to the teams of UNEP India and Ogilvy Mumbai. All right, and now let's take a look at that gold olive crown.
The gold olive crown goes to Bamla Foundation, United Nations and the Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change for Dhag Dhag Dharti.
खुद जी लो सबको जीने दो, खुद जी लो सबको जीने दो, मेरे लिए जरूरी सब ओ धरती का दिल क्या बोले धक 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 धक।
Absolutely sensational campaign. Can I please invite Mr. Asif Bhamla and Mr. Romanchak Arora to come and join us on stage? Congratulations. This song, come and join us.
Thank you so much. This award means a lot to me because a very dear and my favorite Aditya ji has received this award. He's received many more awards in the past on various platforms, but here he's received an award, and I have been given this honor and privilege to share the same stage and dais. It means a lot to me. And Neeraj, Olive Awards in India have always been renowned, and they have their own space in terms of giving awards for sustainability, for the climate change. And this year also, I mean, under all the given circumstances, we've all tried to work and do our best I think the pandemic has brought us more close to the environment to the extent that everything is getting sustainable, right from foods to fashion to everything. And this award, I mean, of course, in the past, there have been numerous awards, but thank you very much, Neeraj. Aditya ji, very impressive, so honored. Thank you so much. So proud that you've always supported us and you've stood with us rock solid. Thank you so much.
Well, folks, our last category for this evening, it's about brands. Brands that don't just consider sustainability as a tiny part. They consider it to be their responsibility towards the planet, and put it at the core of everything that they do. So in this category, we have 1 silver and 1 gold olive crown. So let's take a look at our Pentapulate Award for this evening. Let's take a look at the silver olive crown.
In the category Green Brand of the Year, the Silver Olive Crown goes to Workshop Q for recycled plastic dustbins for Re-City Network, Nestle India.
An innovation for a waste management process, ladies and gentlemen. This was an initiative by a brand that believes in reinventing and reimagining the wheel and the ways of functioning. So a big congratulations to the teams of Re-City Network by Nestle India and Workshop Q for their wonderful work. Let's give them a round of applause. And now, moving on to our last award for this evening. Ladies and gentlemen, let's take a look at the Gold Olive Crown.
The Gold Olive Crown goes to IIFL Home Finance Limited for E-Kutum, Green Affordable Housing.
Driven, impactful, and life-changing. Congratulations to the team of IIFL Home Finance Limited. Let's give them a round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. Actually, I thank both of you all and ask all of you all to get down. I'm just going to quickly please ask our eminent jury as well to come and join us on stage so that we can all take one big photograph. Can I please request you all to come and join us on stage? Thank you so much, Aditya. Thank you for being so graceful and coming and joining us over here this evening. Well, ladies and gentlemen, a very big congratulations to all our winners for sowing those seeds of change for a greener and a much better tomorrow. Thank you for being such a wonderful part of our initiative. Thank you all for being a part of this fabulous evening. It's been wonderful to have each and every one of you over here. You are our green change makers who have started those great conversations for us. I'm going to quickly also thank all our partners for tonight. Our presenting partner Z, our associate partner Discovery, our print media partners The Hindu, technology partner Awador, our web media partners AFAX, Campaign India, Exchange for Media, Media News for You, and MXM India. Thank you.
Thank you.